That was our best practice so far this spring. Spirited, energy, execution, the whole deal. I really like the way they came out and went to work today. Got a little frisky at the end, which is, okay. We've been banging on each other now for 6 days, and you can kind of expect that. As long as it doesn't get out of hand and it doesn't turn into a brawl or a fight or somebody, throwing haymakers, you're going to get a little of that. That's part of football. But I love the energy today. I love the effort. I love the enthusiasm. Now we got to take it to the next level, and that's what I told them. It's great, good day. We got better, but not close to where we have to be. So I'm just confident that they'll keep pushing. They have responded to everything we've asked them to do, and I think they'll keep doing that.
Was it just energy, or was it execution?
It was everything today. It was energy, it was execution, it was focus, it was concentration. I mean, it was just a good morning. I mean, it's every practice takes on its own personality, and today was a very focused, intense practice, and it was great. We needed it, and it was a little bit of a breakthrough, but we can't say, okay, now we got it, and we got to keep pushing, and we will keep pushing.
Would you say the quarterbacks as a whole had a better day today too?
I don't know. I don't watch the individual player or position as much as the team, the feel I'm getting off the team. So, I'd have to go back and look, because I might be watching the defensive line rush and not the quarterback throwing it down the field, or watching, the coverage in the back end, or watching the pass rush. So it's hard for me to tell you that.
So you can only watch one guy at a time?
Well, if I got a Bear Bryant tower and went up in it, and then maybe I'd have a better vision, but that's never going to happen.
The injured guys are guys who are sitting out. Can you talk a little bit about those guys?
You'd have to remind me who they are, because I really don't pay attention to the guys in our practices. Shaquille's got the flu. He's got strep throat.
So he'll be out
to Saturday morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see who else. Massington?
Well, he's been out the whole spring, so we're just he's getting a little tendonitis, so we just want to make sure we don't overdo it. He's on a normal progression to get back on the field.
Fitz seemed like he got a little nicked up.
Sprained his ankle. We'll see how severe it is. Hopefully it's not too severe. He needs to work, and he's doing a really good job for a high school senior.
Do you foresee that bar goal line catch over there being something you guys might actually do?
Oh yeah, we're going to use Cassius. Cassius caught one today. AB caught one today. Keenan Graham's worked in there. Let me think who's coming in as freshmen that we might use. Miles Jack, he's played running back. You might see him in the backfield. I think Noel does a really good job of utilizing our personnel and trying to fit guys into positions where they can help our team. And so that's just another example of it. You get a big, good-looking guy with long arms like Anthony, or a guy who's athletic like Cassius, and those size mismatches, you're going to try to utilize him.
I see he had such a good season last year. Where do you see the areas where he definitely needs to improve? I know he talked about pass coverage a little
Every
bit.
single area he needs to improve on. He needs to fill his toolbox up with more pass rush moves. He needs to get a better understanding of protection schemes and how to attack certain blockers. He needs to work more in coverage. He needs to be better against the run and playing with leverage and locking guys out and being violent with his disengage. And the great thing about AB is that he's working his butt off to get better at all those things. And this kid should have a phenomenal year. I think that he is, I know that there's the Clowney kid, and he's a darn good football player. But I put Anthony Barr up against any defensive player in the country. There's nobody I'd trade him for. Nobody.
He said a few days ago he's going after being the #1 pick. Is that something you can see as a possibility?
I don't know why he shouldn't go after it. When you're 6'4.5" and you weigh almost 250 pounds and run under a 4.5 every single time you run, and you lead the country in sacks within the first year you play in a position, I think that should be his goal. I think his goal should be to win the Heisman. And I think that if you're going to talk about a guy like Te'o, then you should be talking about a guy like Anthony Barr. That's just my opinion.
So Anthony Barr's Heisman campaign just started right here.
It should start, and UCLA needs to promote him, and I'm going to promote him, and he needs to promote himself by going out and playing great and helping his team win.
Do you think he could surprise teams with the progress he's made even after the season he had last year?
Yes, he's so raw still. That's the great thing about him, is he's a neophyte at this position. He's been doing it for less than a year. Well, we started it about a year ago, but he got hurt in spring. Mm-hmm. So he missed the whole spring. What do you have, like 3 days of practice maybe? Remember I think he pulled his ham.
Yeah.
So he's got so much upside. His ceiling is so high, and yeah, I mean, like I said, there's not a defensive player in the country that I'd want on my team more than Anthony Barr.
How much does the NFL take into consideration the upside like that he's so raw?
Well, I think one of the great decisions he made for himself personally, and obviously for this football team, was to come back and get a chance to work with Jeff Ulbrich, get a chance to put 14 more games on tape and develop more. And so when he goes into the NFL draft next year, he's less of an unknown commodity. But they're going to see a guy who can come in and play immediately, but they're also going to see a guy with a high ceiling. And that is very, very appealing to NFL teams when they're drafting high. You want a guy that can come in and be an immediate impact player who has a huge upside, and that's Anthony.
Huffmeister, Ryan. Two things, huh?
Oh man, Ryan, he's so steady and consistent, and he's an excellent special teams player, and then he can play both inside linebacker positions. And he's not flashy, he's not going to be a Heisman Trophy candidate, all right, but he's going to come out here and help his team win.
About Anthony Jefferson, I think you've spoken about him before, but he seems like he's making progress just about every practice.
You're right, he is, and I think that he feels healthy finally. He had the issue with his leg, and he couldn't run like he had once run, and now he's back, and he's playing with a lot of confidence, and he's making plays on the ball. And he's not perfect. I mean, shoot, you see he and Devin Lucian have some good matchups, and Devin get the best of him sometimes, and he'll come back and make a play. But he's working hard, and I love his attitude, and I'm happy for the kid because he's had a tough road since he's been here, and I'd love to see him have success because he's worked for it.
There's some problems with snaps today.
Yeah, we had snap issues all over. We're going to be auditioning snappers. No, we just, we had, when Jake's in there, Jake's consistent. But when, we get some guys in there that haven't done it a whole lot, or, they're worried about their assignment rather than getting the ball to the quarterback, we have too many snap issues. We got to get that corrected because it's a waste of a play. And one guy's screwing it up for 21 other guys, and we can't have that.
Eli, excuse me.
Eli. He's a stud. Eli at 295 pounds strapped a 100-pound weight plate around his waist and did 5 pull-ups. That's pretty impressive. He's a strong dude, and he's still really raw playing the position, and he's come a long way. He had a good winter. So far in the spring, he's kind of been up and down, so he's got to find that consistency. But he's certainly got the ability to do so in the work ethic. We like him a lot. But he's a ways away from being where he needs to be.
Think you can do any of those pull-ups?
I can't even do one pull-up.
Is that something you do? You strap 100 pounds?
He did, yeah. I don't want to reveal Coach Alosi's secrets. I'll get in trouble. But we have some goals and some tests and some benchmarks and some things that we do in the weight room. And Eli, one of them, pull-ups. Pull-ups, they say, is one of the true tests of a man's strength, and that's why I can't do one. And can you imagine strapping 100 pounds around? I mean, 100 pounds hanging between your legs and do 5, not chin-ups, but full extension pull-ups.
You could put Ahmad Harris on his back and do that.
Yeah, I know. That's like 120.
Adams continues to just do well.
Yep. Plays with great confidence. He's another guy. You get Ishmael out there going against Shaq. Now Shaq's been out for a couple of days. You get him going against Jordan Payton. You get him going against Devin Lucian, on the outside, and you get really good battles. Now he's still hampered by the shoulder. He can't. We're holding him back with the red jersey. He feels good, but he's so competitive, and he's gaining confidence every time. And you see those guys go out and compete, and they're just pushing each other to get better. And that's what you want in the spring. You want guys challenging each other and getting after each other and forcing each other to get better. And they win some and they lose some, and they keep fighting, and they're keeping score of who's winning what, and it's the right environment.
Have you noticed Paul Perkins maybe running a little harder going downhill?
No, those guys have all got to improve. There's way too much dancing right now. Our running backs are doing too much of this, like a keyboard of a piano. They need to frickin' hit it and go, and that's something I'm disappointed in, and they're going to work hard on.
Dietrich, is there any update? Are you expecting him back?
Yeah. Dietrich's he's just going to rehab it. He's not having surgery or anything like that. He's going to rehab it, strap it up, and play. It's just a matter of the pain subsiding and doing a little strengthening work and then getting back there. I don't have a timetable. Hopefully soon. You know, I think he needs the work. You know, emotionally he needs the work. Physically he needs the work. Mentally he needs the work. So we need to get him back out here.
Is there any consideration when McCarthy comes back?
Who? Ellis,
yeah. At the nose tackle position.
He'll play nose. Yeah, he's going to be a nose tackle. Like, is there consideration of putting him there?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. He's going to play nose. Yeah, and what we need to do with Ellis is he needs to be 100% healthy before we put him out on the field, because we do a real disservice to the young man if we try to force him out there and his knee's not healthy, because then he hurts it again and he doesn't make progress. And we got to make sure that this kid has a chance to make progress. He's got great talent, and you know, he's got some issues that we've got to address, and we're addressing them. And when he gets out here, he'll be impactful. I really believe so.
Those fights at the end of practice, is that a good sign that they're keeping their focus and that they're keeping the intensity level up?
Well, I'm not big on fights, you know, and they didn't get out of hand. I mean, it was, if you were in there, it was pushing and shoving. It wasn't, you know, I mean, Torian threw a couple, you know, at Anthony, but Anthony showed restraint, never threw back. They're going to happen. They're part of practice. You never encourage them. You never encourage them. You discourage them. You talk to your guys about them. You don't like them. They can create bad habits, but the reality of the whole thing is on occasion when you're out here banging on each other, you know, day after day after day, and you're seeing each other, and it's hot, and the coach is yelling at you, and you're tired, they happen at times. But we've got to minimize them as best we can, and we will. We've addressed it, and we'll address it again.
I know one update on Oa. I don't know if you.
Oa, he's doing really well. Yeah, he's ahead of schedule. We expect him to be ready to go when we hit San Bernardino. He's doing really well.
So all of spring he'll
be out for spring. Yes. I'm trying to think of the injured guys. My mind doesn't think about those guys. My mind thinks about the guys that are practicing.
Sure.
But let me think who else there is. I think that's about it, right?
That's pretty much it.
Yeah. Okay. Who? Oh, he's just sprained ankle. I don't know when he'll be back out. You know, he's gotten a lot better. He can walk without the boot. The boot's more precautionary right now, but we'll see. Yeah, I think better safe than sorry with Eric. So we're healthy, and we're fairly healthy. The guys are pushing through things. They're working hard. I'm impressed with their attitude and their work ethic, and we just got to keep getting better. We just got to keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. Okay.